Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Look at that. Look at that highlighted part of that text. Enzo Maresca. He's been calling out a lot of players and now he's dropped the truth bomb. Enzo Maresca is doing truth bombs as well. He's not holding back and I love it. I absolutely love it because these are stuff that we as a fan base, we know it. We see it. So this is not a surprise to us. Every time he talks about a certain individual, it's not coming out as a surprise because most of us can see all of this stuff. It might be a bit of a shock that he's publicly stating this, but I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Enzo Maresca, when we play with Enzo Fernandez, that is, it has to be Enzo and one between Moi and Romeo Lavia. When Enzo moves, we struggle in the middle physically, with physicality. We struggle in the middle with physicality. It could not be any clearer. Clear as daylight, ladies and gentlemen. In this moment, Moi and Romeo gives us this. And this came off the back of this particular quote, Enzo Maresca. It is a matter of balance. Romeo and Moi gives us physicality, strength in the middle. This is why we found the option of Malo in the pocket. It cannot be any more clear-cut. I've been saying it in recent times. I know at the start of this season, I was thinking, Enzo Maresca might find a solution for Enzo Fernandez. But the more we got to see how Enzo Maresca wants to move in the Premier League, the more it was evident that Enzo Fernandez actually is not going to fit because Enzo Maresca values a lot of the ball. He does value the attributes you hold off the ball. He's not saying that now give the ball to the opposition and just, work off the ball. That's it. No, you have to be technically sound. You have to be able to control the game. But at the same time, we cannot let go of the ball work that needs to be done. We cannot let go of that side of that game. You have to be physically matching up. You have to win duels. You have to win the second balls. It is a non-negotiable in the Premier League, especially in the Premier League. In the midfield, if you're not winning your battles, I'm sorry, most times you're going to lose the game. Because the opposition will rip through your midfield and then they'll have their way against our defenders. Repeatedly, they will screw our defenders. Then the keeper comes under pressure. And you cannot have the defenders and the keepers on a consistent basis bailing us out because of the lack of application in midfield. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, Enzo Fernandez has been relegated to the Conference League because it's a tad bit easier over there. In the Premier League, it's going to be tough. Unless Enzo Fernandez can remodel his game, can remodel his structure, go to the gym, physically beef up, change his mentality to an aggressive midfielder. The issue with Enzo Fernandez right now is not only he lacks from a physical standpoint, which the manager has come out publicly and stated this now, and kudos to the manager for doing that. Hopefully Enzo Fernandez understands this, and I don't know whether he can work on it. Maybe he can. He can perhaps work on it. But the fact about Enzo Fernandez at the moment is on the ball, he's been diabolical as well. It's not like, on the ball, you're fantastic, so you deserve to be in the team. No. On the ball, you're also not good. When your strongest suit is also deemed as your weakest suit, when your strongest suit, which is the ability to pass, the ability to find those, the ability to see play, when your strongest suit is faltering, it can become a weakness. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, Enzo Fernandez, look, this is why I got a lot of comments yesterday off the back of the news of Enzo Fernandez splitting up with his missus. Got a lot of comments saying, Miz, this is none of your business. I think I have not made myself clear in that video because a lot of people understood, but there were a few people that didn't understand as well. I don't care what Enzo Fernandez does in his personal life. That's his business. What I care is his personal life. I think he's having an issue with the way he's performing on field. Do you understand the link? I don't care what he does in his personal life, but I do care in the sense that his personal life is now starting to meddle around with his performances on field. He wants to separate from his missus. That's his business. No problems. But it seems like right now he may need a change of scenery altogether. It doesn't come across that he's completely feeling okay mentally. When a man is going through all of that stuff outside of football, yeah, it's understandable that it may impact inside of football, which then makes me think, you have not been good for a long period of time. This isn't Enzo Fernandez who's not been good just for a short period. No, Enzo Fernandez now hasn't been good for the entirety of last season and all of this season so far. So it might come to a situation where you might need to find a solution outside of this football club, just a change of scenery on everything. That's the message that I was trying to drive yesterday. With Enzo Fernandez, the matter gets even worse because a particular player in the likes of Andrey Santos at Strasbourg is absolutely ripping it apart. Internally at Chelsea, directors, owners, and Maresca believe Andrey Santos will absolutely be an important part of Chelsea project. They refused bids to sell him last summer, and internally, the feeling is Santos will have a future at Stamford Bridge. Santos, ladies and gentlemen, not only he's scoring goals from midfield for Strasbourg, he is very important with the build-up. He's very important off the ball as well. The amount of tackles, the amount of interceptions, everything. His stats from a defensive standpoint is one of the best in Europe. Forget about Ligue 1. It's one of the best in Europe. This guy, undoubtedly, next season will be part of the Chelsea team. Has to be. And this does not bode well with Enzo Fernandez because Moses Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, they're locked in, set in stone. I don't know about all those other players, other brothers in the likes of Keenan Dewsbury Hall. Chukwuemeka looks like he's probably gone as well. Cassidy, maybe he might have a future. Ugochuk, I'm not really sure. As long as Lavia doesn't get injured, touch wood, Moses Caicedo, both of them will be starting in the Premier League. People talk about Enzo Maresca has publicly come out and said there's no A or B team. No, there is an A and B team. We're not stupid. We can see that. There's a team that plays the Premier League, which is very important, and there's a team that plays all the other domestic cups and Conference League. And there's distinct difference between the two teams. The Premier League is the bread and butter, is the most important. We need to thrive to do the best as possible. You know, a lot of people talking about there's an opportunity to come top four, then we have to succeed. You have to play with your best players. So Romeo Lavia, Caicedo, touchwood, nothing happens to them. They're the starters. And then Andrey Santos will come into the frame, which then means someone like Enzo Fernandez becomes surplus to requirements. And with all the other stuff that's going on outside of football for him, maybe it's time for a change of scenery. We shall see if he can change his perspective at Chelsea Football Club. Right now, it seems like it's on a downward spiral. Let's see if Enzo Fernandez can change all of that. Can he train to become more aggressive? Can he train to become more athletic? We shall see. We shall see. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Enzo Maresca has made it public that he doesn't use Enzo Fernandez all the time, especially in the Premier League now. It's due to the fact that physically he lacks. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this lack of physicality in midfield doesn't mean that we can't play with João Felix and Cole Palmer in the pocket. Soon, for sure, we are going to see João and Cole together in the pocket. It's always the game that requires a little bit different. Look, a lot of people are drooling. They are drooling for the scenario of João Felix and Cole Palmer to start together. No problem. It's fantastic. It sounds, it looks so brilliant. But one thing I want to say, João Felix, not a single player that plays for Maresca's team in the Premier League gets away with laziness. He needs every single players to press the way he wants to press. He needs every single players to work hard off the ball to cut out passing lanes. He needs every single players to drop back and defend when we don't have the ball and help the defenders out. No one is going to be sitting around in a luxurious manner and just wait for the ball to come to their feet. That's not going to happen. Even someone like Cole Palmer works his backside off for the team, on and off the ball. The quicker some of these players realize this, Enzo Maresca has literally said Enzo Fernandez doesn't start because of his physicality. João Felix falls almost in that same category. Physically, João Felix gets bundled over, and physically, he doesn't seem to apply himself a lot more in the match by winning duels, winning the second ball, and all the other facets that go with off-the-ball work. So, sure, we as a fan base, we can't wait, but João Felix, yeah, you better pattern up, boy. You better pattern up. And on the ball, you may look very fancy, but you're missing some clear-cut chances. You're making some odd decisions as well on the ball. When you see someone in the caliber of Cole Palmer, the level of decision-making this guy's doing and the level of finishing this guy's producing, yeah, I don't expect you to match him because Cole Palmer is an absolute freak, but you have to somewhat be there and thereabouts. You can't be so low below that it becomes a problem. You got to lift your standard on the ball as well. So let's see what happens from that perspective. Next up, Enzo Maresca on Jackson's form. Very happy. First of all, Nico is helping us. Nico is helping with us not only in terms of numbers, but also in the way we want to play. We have to start realizing the way Enzo Maresca talks. Numbers, but also in the way we want to, but also in the way we want to play. We want to play. It's very important. Enzo Maresca is not just saying, just run around like a headless chicken. No, run around the way I want you to run around. The way he links with his teammates, the way he drops, he gives us an extra man. When he attacks in behind, he is quick and he can score goals. We are trying to work with him in different areas. Brilliant, brilliant. Do you know what? I still have my doubts whether he can lead us to a Premier League title because I just don't think he's ruthless enough up front to scare opposition defenders. But I've always maintained I don't want to sell him. His underlying skill set is incredible, and I fully understand why Enzo Maresca uses him because he is developing. He's rapidly developing. All the stuff that Enzo Maresca has mentioned in this comment, the way he drops in, gives an extra man, the way he links up, his movement, it's all important. And you know what? His finishing has improved as well. It's not like he's missing a lot of gilt-edged chances. He's still missing here and there, of course, but he's putting away a lot of chances as well now. So if this continues, I'll have to change my tune whether he can actually help us win a Premier League down the track. I still believe we need another striker to come in, a bona fide striker, and then Jackson and him, they can fight it out. Healthy competition. But Nicholas Jackson, this is why Nkunku, I'm sorry, you're not going to start. Unless and until Nkunku can give us everything that Enzo Maresca has just mentioned here, I'm sorry, Nkunku, you're going to continue being our Conference League champion. There's a long way to go for Christopher Nkunku. And he better also, along with all those other players, better pattern up quick. Man, this iced tea is beautiful, man. I love it. I should probably have it in all of my videos from now on. Enzo Maresca on Malo Gusto's role. The reason why is because, first of all, with Malo, they are playing as a 10. We can create and cause problems for the opponents. Malo is helping us with process. He's playing everywhere. Malo is doing well, and he's going to continue doing that way. Now, look, I've not been totally impressed by Malo Gusto in recent times. On the ball, he's lacking that execution. Defensively, sometimes he's getting done as well. But I get it. He's playing a different role. Maresca's right. We see it on TV. He's everywhere. He's in midfield. He's in right back. He's out wide in the wing space. He's in the half space. Sometimes he's inside the box as a genuine attacker. But if that's what's going to happen, Malo Gusto, you're going to have to improve your execution. Now, this was there last season. Last season, he was producing some really good crosses. This season, some of his crossing has been pathetic. And then sometimes he'll start taking shots outside of the box, which has also been very pathetic too. So, Malo Gusto, keep developing. Seems like the manager's happy with you because you're trying your best, but you got to keep developing, which means one thing. It looks like Reece James will continue as the LCB, which gives us a bit more balance in our defense. And it means that Malo Gusto is potentially going to keep starting, which means Cucurella, unfortunately, probably need to be featuring in the conference leagues and the cup matches, which is sad because Cucurella is just as good. Cucurella is just as good. The only thing with Cucurella is probably he can't play as a 10, whereas Malo Gusto maybe can potentially play as a 10. He just needs to obviously improve on that execution. But for me, Cucurella, there's no better inverted fullback right now than him. However, if you're going to play with Romeo Lavia and Caicedo, it does make it difficult for you to invert because there's no need to invert. That's why Malo Gusto goes in as a 10, helps out in the attack, along with the Cole Palmers and the wingers and the striker. Because we need 5 to attack. So yeah, let's see. Let's monitor how the development of Malo Gusto happens and what the future kind of holds for Cucurella as well. I fully do expect still Cucurella to stay at Chelsea Football Club. There's no issues around that, but it'll be interesting if Cucurella is going to be happy to not fully feature all the time in the Premier League. So yeah, let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts about everything you spoke, especially about Enzo Fernandez. Let me know in the comments. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.